Hallo allemaal, daar zijn we er weer, RHTV Live. En zoals altijd, geopolitiek. Ja, en ook wel een beetje politiek van het binnenland. We doen het in 2 talen, Nederlands en Engels. Dat gaat door elkaar heen. En ja, er staat wel heel veel op het agenda alweer bij RHTV Live. En we gaan eens eventjes kijken naar wat de eerste onderwerp is. De laatste keer hadden we het over Ethiopië en Somalië, Somaliland. En die hebben dus een deal gemaakt met elkaar. Vanwege Ethiopië is een land dat is omringd door landen. Het heeft geen haven. En die hebben dus een deal gemaakt met Somaliland. Somaliland is eigenlijk een soort van onafhankelijke staat van Somalië. Dat is het Engelse gedeelte van Somalië. Nou, die hebben dus een deal gemaakt met elkaar. En ja, die deal gaat dus niet door. We gaan eens even dat in beeld zetten eerst. Ja. Dus dan gaan we naar Ethiopië toe. In Afrika, we verlaten Maastricht. En dan gaan we naar Afrika toe. En dan laten we ook de situatie een beetje zien op de kaart. Zodat je een beter beeld hebt. Hier hebben we dan Egypte. Hieronder Sudan. Dan heb je nog Zuid-Sudan. Dat zit dan daaronder. Maar hier moeten we naartoe. Ethiopië. Zie je? En die hebben dus een deal gemaakt met Somaliland. Nou, dat zit dus hier zo. Dat is dit gedeelte hier. Dat is het Engelse gedeelte van Somalië. En ja, de president van Somalië, die heeft gezegd, nee, die deal gaat niet door. En we laten zo even wat beelden zien. Dus goedenavond iedereen. Overigens. Ja, we gaan er meteen in, hè. We gaan er meteen in. Ja. Dus hier, Somali president signs law nullifying illegal Ethiopië-Somaliland deal. Somaliland heeft eigenlijk gezegd van nou, jullie mogen een stuk van onze kust hebben als jullie ons erkennen als onafhankelijke staat. Ze willen dus niet bij Somalië horen, eigenlijk. En ja, Ethiopië zei van ja, dat doen we. We vinden het goed, we willen een haven. En de president van Somalië, hoe heet die, Mustafa, oh nee, Hassan Sheikh Mohammed, sorry. Die zegt, nee, doen we niet. We gaan even hier naar kijken.
On Saturday, Somali President Hassan Sheikh Mohamud signed a law nullifying the Memorandum of Understanding signed between the government of Ethiopia and Somaliland. The symbolic move comes as Ethiopia and the breakaway Somali region signed a deal on January 1st. As part of the highly economic and political agreement, Somaliland plans to lease a 20-kilometer stretch of land along its coastline to landlocked Ethiopia. Somaliland President Musa Bihi Abdi said the deal included a statement that Ethiopia would soon recognize the territory as an independent country. That is where the bone of contention lies. Somaliland is a self-declared republic. It has taken issue for years with the process and the legally binding character of the State of Union law, which was to form a unified country after Somalia and Somaliland respectively gained independence from Italy and Britain. The AU chairperson urged Ethiopia and Somalia to engage without delay in negotiations to settle their differences.
Nou, daar kun je het zien. Moeilijke situatie. Het zou zomaar kunnen dat er een oorlog uitbreekt in dat gebied. Want Ethiopië wil heel graag een haven hebben. Ja. Voor import en export. En ja, dat is natuurlijk veel beter voor Ethiopië om dus een eigen haven te hebben. Ja. Ze hebben al een port in Djibouti. En dat is eigenlijk gewoon 1 spoorlijn naar de hoofdstad toe, Addis Ababa. En ja, dat is eigenlijk gewoon te weinig. Daarbij moet ze Djibouti ook nog gaan betalen. Voor heel veel kosten en zoiets allemaal. Het is niet allemaal gratis. En ja, Eritrea die wil er ook niet aan meedoen. En Ethiopië heeft gezegd, we hebben echt een haven nodig, anders wordt het oorlog. Ja. Dus dit hebben we eventjes op kaart gezet, eventjes in beeld, zodat men het beter snapt. Zo heb je dus ook in Jemen, heb je de Houthis die in Sanaa zitten, die dus allerlei vrachtschepen kapen, maar wel kapot maken en zoiets. En dan heb je nog een internationale groep die dus die piraten probeert af te weren. Ja. Dus er is veel gaande in de wereld. Er is ook in Bangladesh zijn er verkiezingen gaande vandaag. En dat gaan we ook even in beeld brengen. 2 maanden geleden was er dus heel veel opstand in Bangladesh. En we gaan zo even naar wat beelden kijken. Hier hebben we dus Bangladesh. Het buurland is India. Je hebt maar 1 buurland. Misschien wel 2, Myanmar. Dat sluit zich ook wel eraan, denk ik. Dus ja, we gaan even kijken naar wat er in Bangladesh allemaal gebeurt. Oh, ik sta zachtjes. Oké. Ik hoop dat het nou beter is. Maar goed, Bangladesh, dat gaan we even in beeld brengen. Zoals gezegd, 2 maanden terug had je daar zo behoorlijk wat rellen en zoiets. En we gaan even kijken naar wat er 2 maanden geleden gebeurde in Bangladesh.
Opposition parties held yet another massive rally in Dhaka. This is as Bangladesh gears up for the January 2024 polls. 3-term Premier and incumbent Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina is determined to win a 4th successive term. But Hasina, who is the head of the ruling party Awami League, is facing stringent demands of stepping down. Leading the charge is the main opposition party, the Bangladesh Nationalist Party. At least 1 police officer died and dozens of protesters were injured as heavy clashes erupted during anti-government rallies in the streets of Dhaka. Police fired tear gas and rubber bullets as clashes erupted when tens of thousands of supporters of the opposition Bangladesh Nationalist Party chanted slogans against the government and went on rampage. Dozens of vehicles, including police vans and ambulances, were set on fire. Over 100,000 supporters of the country's 2 major opposition parties, the BNP and the Jamaat Islami, took out a massive rally in the capital Dhaka. Holding their party flags and chanting slogans, they demanded that Prime Minister Hasina must step down. The opposition says that a free and fair election can only be conducted under a neutral government. The protesters also called for the release of BNP leader Khaleda Zia, who is under house arrest after her conditional release from prison in 2020. Since 2018, Zia has been serving a 17-year jail term after she was convicted in 2 corruption cases. Police arrested at least 200 BNP supporters near the party headquarters. This comes after at least 600 were detained over the previous week. Security forces had earlier been accused of detaining tens of thousands of opposition activists and killing hundreds in extrajudicial encounters. A BNP spokesperson described the protest as a final call for Hasina to resign. If she does not step down voluntarily, the party has threatened to call more aggressive protests such as strikes and blockades. Meanwhile, ruling Awami League called for a peace rally, warning that any attempt to trigger violence will be dealt with seriously. Remember, Hasina has been in power for 15 years and has overseen rapid economic growth, with Bangladesh overtaking neighboring India in GDP per capita. But the period has also seen inflation rising rapidly, and her government is accused of corruption and human rights abuse.
En daar kunnen we het zien, mensen. Dat gebeurde dus 2 maanden geleden. 1 agent dood en nog wat demonstranten flink gewond. En de oppositiepartij, de leider, is opgepakt. Die zit in het gevangenis. En vandaag zijn dus verkiezingen in Bangladesh. En ja, de opkomst is zeer, zeer laag. Het is op 1 hand te tellen. We gaan even hier naar kijken.
Of central Dhaka unusually quiet as the country takes to the polls. The polling stations quiet too. Many places reporting percentage turnout in single figures by midday. The chief election commissioner said it was too early to judge a process he said was entirely credible.
Generally the turnout is less. When it is 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock, gradually it starts increasing. And very peaceful.
That's not how the opposition sees it. The Bangladesh Nationalist Party is boycotting the vote, saying the process is rigged after a spate of pre-election violence in which thousands of its members were arrested. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, meanwhile, here casting her vote, blames the opposition for the violence.
I have to prove credibility, right? To whom? To whom? A terrorist party? A terrorist organization? No. I have my accountability to people, to the people.
The big question at this election is not who will win, the result is predetermined, but rather the real test of its credibility is how many people will choose to take part in a process that looks decidedly one-sided.
Some said they were happy with the process.
I could vote freely, without restriction, and I'm happy that I was able to.
This woman appeared to confirm suggestions that some were being offered incentives to vote.
They told me that if I vote, they will give me my disability benefit when the election is over.
This was the after.
Had je dat gehoord? Ja, zo van, ja, als je op mij stemt, dan krijg je je uitkering en je disability benefits. Ja, het is altijd weer hetzelfde liedje. Altijd weer hetzelfde. Die politici die beloven van alles en er komt niks van terecht. Deze vrouw die zal wel iets, weet ik veel, blind zijn of iets in die trend, kan niet goed lopen of zoiets. En haar wordt van alles beloofd. Stem op mij, dan krijg je dit, dan krijg je dat. En je ziet ook dat ook in Bangladesh mensen uit elkaar worden gespeeld. Je hebt dus te maken met een premier die mensen wegzet als extremisten en terroristen en noem het allemaal op. Nou, datzelfde zie je dus ook gebeuren in Nederland. Ja, mocht je niet met de frame van consensus meegaan in Nederland, klimaat en noem het allemaal op. Mocht je daar niet in meegaan, dan word je gelabeld als een rechtsextremist, een Poetin-lover ofwel complottheorist. Ja, zo gaat het in dit land. Ja, niet alleen in dit land. Zij zou wel gestemd hebben op degene die gezegd heeft van, nou, als je op mij stemt, dan krijg je een uitkering. We gaan nog eens even hier naar kijken.
To vote.
They told me that if I vote, they will give me my disability benefit when the election is over.
Kijk, in Amerika heb je bijvoorbeeld ten tijde van Obama, die mensen die kregen dus cadeautjes. Die kregen een mobiel of iets in die trend, een tablet. En ja, wel op mij stemmen. Hè. Ik heb je een cadeautje gegeven, kan je nog veel meer geven. En zo komen zij dus aan de macht. We kijken door.
This was the aftermath of a suspected arson attack on a train travelling to the capital Dhaka on Friday night. Only 4 out of 11 elections held in Bangladesh since independence have been widely considered free and fair. It's unlikely the present one will be the 5th, and there are real fears pre-election violence will intensify afterwards. Jonah Hull, Al Jazeera, Dhaka.
Make sure to...
Nou, het staat al vast wie dus de premier is. Die blijft gewoon premier in Bangladesh. De oppositiepartij, die hebben uit de weg geruimd. Die hebben gezegd, het zijn terroristen, het zijn dit en dat en zoiets. En zo behoud je dus de macht. Hetzelfde zien we dus terug in Nederland. Waar ze dus de PVV, zowel PVV als de FVD, voor de rechter laten verschijnen. In Engels heet dat lawfare. En dat is dus het justitiële apparaat gebruiken om je oppositie weg te ruimen. Ja? Dat gebeurt dus ook in Nederland. Dat gebeurt overal in de wereld. Daarom geven we dus ook geopolitiek om een beter beeld te laten zien. Van, het gebeurt niet alleen hier, het gebeurt ook daar. Ja. En ja, we kijken weer op de kaart. En natuurlijk kijken we dus ook naar het Midden-Oosten. Zeer, zeer belangrijk wat daar allemaal gebeurt. En als we nog gaan kijken naar het Midden-Oosten, dan zien we dus een journalist die dood is gegaan in de Gazastrook. Dat is de zoon van de chief, de hoofd van Al Jazeera. Ja. Dus die is in de Gazastrip omgekomen. En ja, helaas. Het is heel, heel erg triest wat daar gebeurt. Die mensen kunnen niet weggaan, helemaal afgesloten, hermetisch afgesloten. En ja, af en toe dan gaat de grens nog wel open met Egypte. Komen wat hulpgoederen, wat dekens en zoiets. Maar ja, dan gaan die Egyptenaren weer weg. En dan hupla, de grens weer dicht. En zoek het je uit. Zo gaat het eraan toe daar in de Gazastrip. Heel, heel erg triest dat dit allemaal gebeurt. Maar we proberen het gewoon bij te houden. Met de middelen die we hebben. En we laten zo even zien. Inderdaad, Roy Obama-phone. Roy weet het ook nog wel. We laten zo even wat beelden zien uit het Midden-Oosten. En iemand die Hamza heet. Hamza, ik ben slechte namen. Maar Hamza die is dus overleden. En we gaan zo naar wat beelden kijken.
We can hear from Wael Al-Dadu now. Let's have a listen to what he has to say.
He is the best disposer of affairs. This is our choice. This is our fate. And we must accept our fate no matter what happens. Because our ultimate hope is that Allah be satisfied with us and that Allah views us as patient people. This is the fate and this is the choice of all the people here on this land. As you can see, people in droves are saying goodbye to their loved ones and to their children every day, every hour, and every second. And me, just like all of these people, I am bidding farewell today. What else can I say? Allah the Almighty, may Allah the Almighty give us strength, give us comfort, give us patience. May Allah the Almighty give us the strength to carry on for the sake of Hamza and for the sake of all the martyrs. And to Hamza and to all the martyrs, I say, we will remain faithful. This is the road that we've chosen consciously. We have offered much, and we have offered a lot of blood, because this is our destiny, and we shall continue. We shall move forward. This is the great challenge for us. It is true that we feel sorrow. It is true that we are experiencing suffering. It is true that we are in pain. For, like I said, there is nothing harder than the pain of losing. So, what can you say when you've lost a child? Hamza was not a part of me. Hamza was all of me. He was the soul of my soul. He was everything to me. But when we feel sorrow, we remember that the Prophet, peace be upon him, also felt sorrow and also shed tears. These are the tears of sorrow, these are the tears of farewell, and these are the tears that distinguish us from our enemies. We are full of humanity, and they are full of murder. They are full of rage. For that reason, we cry, we mourn, we shed tears. Yes, however, our tears are tears of humanity.
Ja, mensen, wat daar gebeurt, dat houdt je wel wakker. Want heel veel mensen gaan eraan dood. Het maakt niet uit of je nou Israëli bent of Palestijns of uit Libanon komt of Jordanië of whatever. Het maakt allemaal niet uit, je bent mens. Daar draait het om, je bent mens. Ja, en het is heel triest om te zien wat mensen elkaar allemaal aandoen. Ja, mensen worden gelokt tot een oorlog. We hebben het net gezien, Ethiopië hadden we net een beeld. Er is geen één land die Ethiopië even een haven geeft. En ja, Ethiopië heeft daarbij ook dan geen keuze. Je drijft mensen tot oorlog. Dat is niet de bedoeling. Maar ja, goed. Als je kijkt naar Bangladesh, ja, ook weer hetzelfde. Hè? Ook weer een partij die het macht wil behouden. En doet alles om het macht te behouden. Ja, het is echt heel, heel erg de staat van de wereld. Maar goed, we houden het allemaal bij. En we proberen het nogmaals in beeld te brengen. Zo goed als we het kunnen. Ja. Goed, we gaan ook even wat shout-outs doen. Een shout-out naar Bear Britain Audits. Dat is iemand in Engeland die dus rondloopt met de camera in Birmingham. Ja. En ja, ik heb wel eens met hem gesproken, goede gast. En we zien hier een kerstmarkt in Birmingham. En iemand liep daar met een hond. En die wordt dan aangehouden door agenten en security, beveiliging. En Bear Britain Audit, die was daarbij. Ja, die heeft het allemaal opgenomen. En ook hij wordt lastiggevallen door security. We gaan even hier naar kijken.
Okay, no, thank you very much. Don't go away from me, yeah? He's grabbing me up, he's grabbing me up. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Have you seen that? Thank you.
Keep moving that way, yeah?
No.
You want to keep moving that way?
No. Who are you?
Just keep moving that way.
Go away, man. Where to go in public? I don't. Yeah, I don't care. I don't care. I've not done anything. Move.
I'm asking you to move.
I don't want to.
Keep recording, mate.
Okay. Cheers. Thanks. Cheers, pal.
Language, again, you're not going to be reminded for the third time.
Let me go then.
Just get yourself off here.
Stop it.
None of that, bro. None of that.
None of what? Recording. Well, it's against the law now.
It's not about against the law. It's just, you know, there's the issue going on.
Yeah, I know, so I'm recording it.
Camera, like, come on,
So I'm recording. I've got no respect for these.
No, that's fine.
And I don't know him, so...
And I don't know you personally for me to say
Okay, so,
anything.
bro, there's no reason why I shouldn't be filming, man. These are allowed to be filmed. These will tell you this. These will tell you. They're allowed... It's not against the law to film the police.
Yeah, but it's a private property.
I don't care whether it's private property. So because it's private property, these can't be held to account.
Have a good day, yeah? Have a good day.
Pardon?
Just asking your interest in the matter and why you feel have to record it. Just a question.
Make sure you guys are conducting yourselves in the right
Absolutely,
manner.
your body worn on as well, just so you're aware. So
Cool.
So the police is intimidating this Bear Britain audit. He's a cool guy. We zien hier Uwe Vries vanuit Duitsland. Die zegt dat de eerste convoys naar Berlijn toe gaan. Er is een boerenprotest. A farmers protest is in Germany. The Green Party in Germany taxes the farmers and stuff like that. And the farmers say, nope, no more. Yeah. Let's see if we can find some images from Germany. But first, we're going to the second shout out, which is our friend Fake Mike Real News. Check out his channel. Check out Bear Britain Audits. And Fake Mike Real News is also on the news, giving you stuff about Epstein and other very, very important stuff. So Fake Mike Real News, we're going to take a look at this. And we're also going to search for some images from Germany.
So yeah, speaking of celebrities, we got some celebrities you will not believe on this. So let's get back to the document. We have the document. All right, so let's go. All right. During a recent deposition, defendant refused to answer numerous questions about allegedly adult, I'm going to leave out a couple words here, related to Jeffrey. This is because this activity is highly relevant to the case, defendant should be able to answer this. Okay, let's see if we get into this. Court is aware. Okay, so let's get down to the juicy juice. And this going on saying, this is basically a deposition here talking about getting her to answer questions. And they're giving up an example transcripts here of this is an example. Defendant refused to answer a question about whether she had given Jeffrey a massage, and she obfuscates here. So let's see if we can get her. And then again over here, refusing to ask questions about this, answer questions. And okay, we're going to skip that right there. And they're saying the court should compel Ms. Maxwell to answer all questions about her knowledge regarding the sexual blank with Epstein and other females.
So this is the testimony of Ghislaine Maxwell, right, saying what her connection was with Epstein and stuff like that. It's a very interesting channel to check out, Fake Mike Real News. Right, shout out to Will Turbot. And we're also going to show you some images from Germany, the farmers' protest, as I've said before. Right. Ja, we laten ook wat beelden zien uit Duitsland. Zo. Hier, 2 dagen terug. Angry farmers block German minister. Vast majority Germans concerned about situation. Europe absolutely rocked by growing citizen revolt. It kind of reminds me of 1848, right? The revolt in Europe. German farmers protest against government plan to cut tax breaks for diesel. That was 2 weeks ago, and the farmers are still protesting. We're going to take a look at this here. DW, it's also German news, German international news. And we're going to take a look at what is being said on DW.
North Sea Island, police had to use pepper spray to disperse the angry nighttime crowd. Farmers have been up in arms over government plans to withdraw tax breaks for the agricultural sector. Habeck later reached the mainland safely. So let's get more from our chief political correspondent, Nina Haza. Nina, what does this say about the political climate in Germany? Because, I mean, there's more at play here, isn't there?
There is, Sarah, and it is not looking good. That's what it says, what these pictures say. Mr. Habeck himself reacted on Friday morning, said that he was very concerned about how agitated the mood is becoming across the country. And he added that he's above all worried for all those who are elected officials all over the country, like mayors, for example, of small towns, who face similar abuse or aggression on a daily basis and who don't, like him, have police protection. He does that, of course, he does have that because he's a cabinet minister. And interestingly, that was a sentiment that was shared by many people on Friday, also high-ranking politicians, also from the opposition Conservative Party, who all have reacted in big numbers to those pictures from the ferry, that they see that organised hassling like that has nothing to do with legitimate protest. They say that red lines are crossed in situations like that, and that they fear that the mood is at tipping point here in Germany, that fact-based political discourse and the search for compromise, something that Germany is so well known for around the world and is proud of, is at risk. And that's, of course, something that we've seen in other countries too. There are also groups who benefit from driving society further apart, and that is also something that appears to be happening here. The Farmers' Union has distanced themselves from those protests. They say they have nothing to do with that, but there are obviously groups who benefit from pictures like this.
Okay, and I want to drill down a little bit more into the mood overall in the country. I'm going to first look at the numbers. You're going to stay with me, because it comes as German opinion polls indicate that support for Chancellor Olaf Scholz and his government are, in fact...
You see, I have some comments here, and this is from Germany, right? Uwe Fries is from Germany, and he's responding to what's being said on DW, and he says, "This is bullocks. No one attacked anybody. The ferry didn't even was at port, and he never showed up. The ferry never showed up." Okay, so yeah, this is the frame of consensus they're trying to make, right? What's happening in Germany. This is why people are so important. You know, we need people from Germany, from other countries, to report on what's going on. The media gives you the frame of consensus, right? We need honest people on the ground, you know, to say what's going on. And please give video images, you know, it's very, very important. Habeck never showed up. Probably that minister, right? They're all cowards. They're all cowards. You know, het zijn allemaal lafaarden. Die durven niet de mensen te confronteren. Die durven wel eventjes een nieuwe wet aan te tekenen en zoiets, maar mensen confronteren? Nee, dat doen we niet daar. Ja. So, Uwe has seen the uncut video and he said nothing happened. So it's yeah, this is the frame of consensus the media uses, right? But there's a lot going on in Germany. We know. We're hopping around the world and showing lots of stuff, such as Gaza. We just showed you some images there, and other places in the world. Bangladesh. We also put a light on Bangladesh. Elections going on over there, and yeah, there's so much going on, right? Here we have Bangladesh. So now you guys can tell me what's going on. Ja, vertel me maar wat er allemaal gaande is. En ja, dan zullen we dat in beeld brengen. Barry is ook hier. En Bas Toen, die heeft het gedeeld in groepen. Mooi. Kijk, iedereen kan dit doen, hè. Je moet alleen een beetje kennis hebben. En kennis van zaken. En ja, dan even kijken, we krijgen hier zo een bericht van iemand. Misschien kunnen we dat ook wel in beeld brengen. Even kijken, we krijgen hier een link van Left Laser. Ja. So there's a media thing called Left Laser, and they're also left leaning. And let's see what this here is. Amerikanen mogen op je schieten als je deze geheime basis betreedt. Americans can shoot at you when you enter this secret base somewhere in the Netherlands, probably. And let's see what Grandma has to say about this.
U staat eigenlijk naast de kernwapens.
Scheelt niet veel.
De binnenbeveiliging, die is voor de Yankees. En ook die mogen op Nederlands grondgebied gewoon jou doodschieten als jij wilt kijken wat hier ligt.
Schiet een keer in de lucht, waarschuwing. Pakken ze het tweede hek, schieten. Doe jij het niet, doen het die Amerikanen. En die zijn binnenin en die kogels komen ook jouw kant op.
Maar shoot to kill?
Ja.
We zijn vandaag in Volkel, waar wij de lokale populatie gaan vragen wat ze ervan vinden dat er hier in het geheim Amerikaanse kernwapens liggen.
So there are nuclear weapons in Volkel, which is a place in the Netherlands. We're going to show that on the map. Wacht even hoor. Even zo. In Volkel heb je dus nucleaire wapens en ook een Amerikaanse luchthaven. En here it is, Volkel, a very small place. Near Uden, near the biggest city is Den Bosch, of 's-Hertogenbosch. There we have 's-Hertogenbosch. And, well, Eindhoven is also quite near. It's about an hour drive, I'd say. Anyway, there's an American base over there in Volkel, and shoot to kill. You're not allowed to cross the perimeter, and they can kill you, you know. So, and the people living over there say You have to avoid the fences, even kijken, daar. Zo, ja, we gaan doorkijken.
Sorry? Hoe blij is Volkel met de luchtmacht?
Nou, ik ben heel blij. Ik wilde vroeger altijd F-16-piloot worden.
Is dat gelukt?
Nee, helaas niet.
Wat vindt u van de...
So that guy said, I'm very happy there's an Air Force base here. I always wanted to be pilot. And yeah, he's not a pilot though, Yeah, so Grandma is going to be asked about the military base in Volkel.
De kernwapens die er liggen.
Ja, niemand is er blij mee.
So he's asking about the nuclear weapons in Volkel, and she says nobody's happy about it.
Dat ze er liggen, maar ze liggen er al heel lang. Het was eerst een geheim dat ze er lagen, nou weet iedereen dat ze er liggen.
Liggen die hier dan?
First it was a secret, and now everybody knows. And this guy's like, there are nuclear weapons here, really? So nobody knows, basically. Whilst everyone knows. Well, people that live there for a very long time, they know, right?
U weet dat niet? Veel Volkel, toch?
Ja, precies, maar volgens mij is het een staatsgeheim.
Ze hadden het beter, vind ik ook, wel opener in kunnen zijn.
Past dat bij een democratie?
Ja, past dat bij democratie eigenlijk niet, hè?
So he's asking if it's according to a democracy that you have nuclear weapons, and he says, the government is supposed to be open about this, and well, they're not open about it. So left laser is left leaning, and sometimes they have a point, right, about nuclear weapons. Why should a small country such as the Netherlands have nuclear weapons? Huh? Who wants to attack the Netherlands? Wie wil Nederland nou aanvallen? Ik bedoel, we hebben niet heel veel te bieden, behalve heel veel water. Ja, we don't have much to offer except for water. We have lots and lots of water, but maybe technologically, I don't know. Who wants to attack the Netherlands? We're a dot on the map, you see? So no one wants to attack the Netherlands. We should not be paranoid about our neighboring countries, right? We should support them. I hope there will be Dutch farmers. Nederlandse boeren, nu is jullie kans. Ga naar Duitsland toe. Ga naar Berlijn toe. En steun de Duitse boeren. Mocht het in Frankrijk zijn, of in Spanje, of elders in Europa, steun ze. Steun ze. Ze hebben hard onze steun nodig. So, whether it's in France or Germany, support them. Support the farmers. Farmers are very, very important for a country. So, yeah, and who knows? Maybe we will see a farmers' protest in Poland again, right? So, who knows? Who knows? And the European Union is also trying to expand their borders into Serbia and Moldova. Ukraine is a half foot within the EU and also within NATO. Right? Ukraine is losing the war. They're on the losing side. Something very important happened in Ukraine. and let's put that on screen. They're talking about long-range missiles instead of troops, right? This is because Ukraine does not have any troops anymore, right? So that's why they're talking about long-range missiles, and we're going to show you that. Even kijken wat hier gezegd wordt. De Iran die heeft het erover, de long-range missiles in Ukraine, long-range missiles and Zelensky panic. Zelensky is a general within the Ukrainian army, and he stood in front of parliament and he said, "We have no people anymore. If you want the war to go on, you must go to the battlefield." So we're going to take a look at this here.
In Ukraine. So here we are again. Russia is I guess I'm to assume that Russia's low on weapons. Russia's running out of weapons. The Russian military is in a terrible state because they're running to North Korea. I mean, the axis of evil again. I mean, what exactly are we to make of these latest statements from the Biden White House with regards to North Korea and Russia?
Well, I mean, the first thing to say is that I don't know whether the Russians have bought missiles from North Korea. I mean, they bought drones from Iran, so it's not inconceivable, I suppose, that they might buy weapons from North Korea. But I must make a point, which is that there's been repeated claims about the Russians using North Korean artillery ammunition. There's been these claims about missiles from North Korea. There is really no evidence, apart from, pictures of containers being moving around railway lines and things of that kind. There's not really been much in the way of evidence to support any of these claims on the battlefronts. No evidence that would remotely satisfy a court of law. Just say. So I don't know what to make about this, but I would say this. I mean, I don't know whether it's true or not, but I'm going to say this. This is a very convenient story for the United States to be coming up with now. Now, there's a number of reasons why I think that this is coming up. Firstly, these two big missile and drone strikes that the Russians have launched on Ukraine, the one on the 29th of December and the one on the 2nd of January, have been absolutely devastating. I mean, they have been the most powerful missile strikes that the Russians have ever launched at any time during this war. And it's clear that the Ukrainians and the Americans and their Western allies are shocked by them. There is now accumulating evidence that at least two Patriot missile systems or batteries have been destroyed. One in Kiev, one in a railway, on a train in Kherson region. There's now accumulating pictures of industrial facilities around Kiev, also massively destroyed. Huge amount of damage has been done. There are many reports that top people within the Ukrainian military were killed as well as a result of these strikes, and other parts of the air defense system that the West has so painstakingly tried to create in Ukraine have been smashed and damaged as well. So firstly, you have to come up with a information explanation about why this has happened. All the evidence is that the major damage to all of these facilities has been done by hypersonic missiles launched from Russian aircraft. The Kinzhals, backed by these subsonic missiles, the KH-101s. So you don't want to talk about the Kinzhals because you've been spending the last year trying to play down the danger from the Kinzhals. You say that it's all due to ballistic missiles. The Russians are supposed to be running low on ballistic missiles. You talk instead about them buying these missiles from North Korea. You're able to talk about North Korea, and then you come along to Congress and say, well, look, North Korea is an enemy of our country. Russia is an enemy of our country. These two enemies of our country are coming together. They're fighting this war together. They're now clearly allies. So that makes it even more important for us to get funding to support Ukraine, because we're not just fighting the Russians in Ukraine, we're fighting the North Koreans as well.
This is what the U.S. is trying to tell us, right? We know that the rockets came from, long-range missiles, came from the Black Sea, right? And we know there was a retaliation to the Russian warship that was destroyed before the new year came, right? We're also going to show you some images from the Russian warship that was destroyed. Een Russisch schip is gewoon aan flarden geschoten, zoals eerder gezegd bij RHTVLive. En dan komt de retaliatieactie naar Kiev toe. Heel veel bommen in Kiev gevallen, long-range missiles. En we laten zo even wat beelden zien vanuit de Krim. Ja, want waarom doet Rusland dit? Waarom vallen ze Kiev in één keer aan? Ja, dat is vanwege de Russische oorlogsschip die kapot is geschoten. So this is the Russian warship. We're going to enlarge the screen here. There. Out here you have the Black Sea, and you see the fires starting there.
Садись. Тихо, тихо. Ты снимаешь? Да. Охренеть. Ой, жарко сюда. Вот зря мы сюда пошли, там осколки прилетят. Поэтому ж говорю, голову. Нифига себе. Тихо.
This war must stop. It's insanity. You cannot win against Russia, right? Russia is maybe 1,000 times bigger than Ukraine. It's like you cannot win this war, man. You cannot win this war. And NATO can support Ukraine, even though they're not part of NATO, right? But they cannot win this war. You have fighters coming from the Chechen part, right? The Caucasus and stuff. You have fighters coming from everywhere in Russia, right? Concentrating themselves in the east of Ukraine. And the Russians are gaining ground. Ukraine is, you see, the Russians are playing a game with Ukraine, basically. First, they gain some ground, right? And then they pull back. The ground they gained, they put landmines and ditches and stuff like that, so they go back, make these ditches and stuff, and then they have this line that they retreat to, and they let the Ukrainians come, right? This is why you see the line fluctuating all the time. Sometimes Russia gains some ground, sometimes they don't, right? Because they're retreating, right? Gaining ground and then retreating. And then Ukraine thinks, hey, we got some ground here. Yeah, let's conquer it. Nope. You have to go through the ditches and landmines and stuff like that first, right? And Russia is doing economically pretty good, right? Because they may be sanctioned by the West, but they're still dealing with Iran, China, and their neighboring country, North Korea, right? So, and the cooperation with Iran, you see, they used to be enemies, right? Russia and Iran used to be enemies. But what happened in Syria brought them together, Russia has a military base in Syria, in Tartus. Let's put that on the map. Tartus. There. They have a military base over here, right? The only military base outside of Russia. It used to be Crimea too, but now Crimea is part of Russia. So Tartus, and this is why Russia was protecting Syria, right? And Syria invited Iran to come over to fight off the proxies, right? The proxies that we in the West had made to overthrow Assad. Remember that red line that Obama said? We made a red line and you passed it, Assad. Yeah. You guys remember that? In England, something historic happened. They were not for intervention in Syria, right? They saw the disaster, what happened in Libya, and they said, nope, we're not going to intervene in Syria. A very historic thing that happened there. But this is why the war is still going on over in Syria, right? The proxies that we supported have gained ground in Idlib and other places. Within Syria, right? Here we have Idlib. So that's what's happening. And we also have Turkey fighting off the proxies, right? Whilst supporting them. It's a hornet's nest over there. You have basically the Kurds within Syria, right? Northeast Syria. This is all Kurdish territory. Araka and stuff like that. Kurdish territory. Now, they are sponsored by the US to fight off the proxies within Syria, right? The proxies became too big, and so they use the Kurds for that, right? But over in Turkey, you have Erdogan that says the Kurds within Turkey want their own autonomous state, right? They want Kurdistan. And Erdogan says the Kurds who want Kurdistan are in the north and northeast of Syria, right? So they're fighting off basically a proxy army that we are supporting, or the US is supporting, basically. It's a very complicated issue, right? And we also have, of course, the Israel issue, them bombing Gaza and waging war in the north of Israel, right, south of Lebanon, and there's so much happening. Hamas leader was killed in Beirut a couple of days ago, and Hamas well, yeah, it's very hard to see what's happening on the battlefield, but they're waging a fight against the IDF in the south of Lebanon, and also they're also present in Syria under another name, right? So they're also waging war in the Golan Heights. Yeah, very, very interesting to see what's happening in and around Israel. So I think we said enough for now. Right? We gave, a vision of what's happening around the world, right? We didn't talk about Niger yet, or Mali, or other places in Africa. We could do that, but it's going to take hours. There's also Venezuela, right? And Guyana, who knows? Maybe an intervention within Guyana. We will see what the time will tell us. Ja, we hebben alweer genoeg gezegd, mensen. En we gaan er weer vandoor. We hebben ons taak weer gedaan. Geopolitiek gegeven natuurlijk. En we sluiten zo af met Olly the Octopus. Ja. Die komt ons zingen. They're going to get you. Ja. Dus. Wederom bedankt, Rogier. Nou, jij bedankt, Roy. Dat je toch meegekeken hebt. Dat je het allemaal gevolgd hebt en zo. En ook wellicht gedeeld. Dat ligt in jou. Of je deelt of niet. Ja, we doen het gratis en voor niks. Dus ja, waarom niet, hè? Het is niet zo moeilijk. Deelknopje is onderin te vinden ergens. En gewoon delen, joh. Waarom niet? We gaan naar Olly the Octopus kijken.
Okay. Rolling?
Hello, this is Olly the Octopus.
Hi, here we are outside the US Embassy. I'm about to play my song. It's called They're Going to Get You. We're filming them because they film us. If you don't renew your tax disc, you'll be driving at your own risk. They're going to get you. They're going to get you. They can use their Jedi mind tricks, psychometric biometrics. They're going to get you. They're going to get you. CCTV in your clamshell turning in the grave of Orwell. They're going to get you. They're going to get you. DNA no longer your own because they've mapped out your genome. Be careful what you say when you're on the phone because they know where you live. Them when you're on your own. Daddies, watch your daughters. There's Prozac in the water. They're going to get you. They're going to get you. Don't start a revolution. They'll get you with their air pollution. They're going to get you. They're going to get you. Because we think we are paranoid. Their forces are still deployed. They're going to get you. They're going to get you. They get your details in the dope. You now they know you. They're going to get you. Careful what you say when you're on the phone because they know where you live. And when you're on your own, 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 on your own. here for the last verse.
Nice one.
Good afternoon.
By the way, because I know we're from the police entertainment unit, we're here to make your day a little bit more exciting and with entertaining. Have you not heard of us?
They'll look you up for them, it's not hard, so look your best on your ID card. They're going to get you, they're going to get you. They can make your life live in hell if you even mention Roswell. They're going to get you, they're going to get you. You can join in if you want. They're going to get you, they're going to get you.
They're going to get you. They're going to get you.
They're going to get you.
They're going to get you.
Be careful what you say when you're on the phone, because they know where you live. When you're on your own, be careful what you say. Be careful when you're on the phone, because they know where you live. They know when you're on your own. Be careful what you say.
Ollie the Octopus, thank you very much for that.
Sorry, just to explain, if I may, police, I think you probably don't know about the police entertainment department, but it's a group of us, and what we do various things to kind of cheer up the police and get them a bit more connected to us, the un-uniform. And one of the, I'm actually the head of the police hugging department. Yeah, all right. And
no hugs?
You're not up for a hug?
Hugging makes the world a better place. Can we hug you?
Up for a hug, sir?
Can we please hug you?
No?
But it's only a nice hug.
It's just a hug.
We're all beautiful and unique snowflakes of Mother Nature and all the rest of it. No? All right.
That we are, Charlie. That we are. It takes a lot of balls to sing in public, right? In front of the American embassy in London. So it takes balls to do that, you know. We are beautiful human beings. We are capable of so much. And the only thing we do is wage war. And we want that power, don't we? You know, we want to suppress populations and stuff like that, right? Our so-called friend Zbigniew Brzezinski, let's close off with that, said it's easier to kill 1 million people than to control 1 million people. It used to be easier to control 1 million people than to kill them, but now it's infinitely easier to kill 1 million people than to control them. So we're going to take a look at this, and then we're going to close off. Check out the channels, right? Bear Britain Audits, and also Fake Mike Real News.
That for the first time in human history, for the first time in all of human history, almost all of mankind is politically awake. And these new and old major powers face still yet another novel reality, in some respects unprecedented. And it is that while the lethality of their power is greater than ever, their capacity to impose control over the politically awakened masses of the world is at a historical low. I once put it rather pungently, and I was flattered that the British Foreign Secretary repeated this, as follows. Namely, in earlier times, it was easier to control 1 million people, literally. It was easier to control 1 million people than physically to kill 1 million people. Today, it is infinitely easier to kill 1 million people than to control 1 million people. It is easier to kill than to control.
So there you have it. That was the guy that made the Mujahideen in Afghanistan to ward off the Russians, right? So he's long dead, but still his agenda is being used within the Middle East and also Ukraine. So check out Zbigniew Brzezinski, the Grand Chessboard, and we'll see each other again. Bye-bye.